Jay, it's great to be back out here. You always got cool stuff in the shop. What you got today?
This is kind of cool. This is the first V8 Aero engine. This was built by Hispano Suiza. This is sort of the engine that won World War I. The Germans were running big straight six Mercedes, big massive inline sixes. This was designed by a Swiss engineer named Mark Burkett. Aluminum engine, iron liners obviously, 330 horsepower, close to 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, some crazy thing.
What planes did they put it in?
They put it in the Spad. They put it in the Spad, then the English built it under the name Wolseley, and then the Americans built it under Wright Martin. And you probably would recognize this engine if I cut half of it off, because what they used to do in the 30s, in the late 20s, and even up to the 40s, they would literally cut these engines half and run four-cylinder midgets or sprint engines.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where it's a shame a lot of them got cut up, because they're just great, great engines. And the reason I have this is because back before World War I, when you wanted to go fast, you went to the biggest engine available, which was airplane engines. And since obviously there were no jets, airplane engines had a lot more in common with car engines because they were piston engines.
And so you slammed them into a car?
Yeah, you put them into a car, or you could lay them gently. Depends what kind of mechanic you are. I guess you could slam it in if you wanted to, depending on what kind of work you do.
No, you wouldn't have done something like that, would you?
Oh, well, I didn't do it, but it was done a long time ago. And what this is well, right over here, we have a Hispano Suiza car.
Well,
come on over here.
check it out.
There it is right here. What you have here is a 1915 Hispano Suiza, and this was built to be, I guess, a high-speed land speed car, maybe, just a good old race car. I don't really know. The chassis was dug out of the swamp in Australia. It's all Hispano Suiza, the wheels, the brakes, except obviously it has the Aero engine in it, which is also Hispano Suiza. I'll show you right here.
But this is it's a 1915 chassis?
1915 chassis. See, and the engine just kind of fits right in there.
I recognize that.
In fact, show you how much I love this engine. I painted it on my wall.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of big. It's kind of big for this car. It sort of sticks out the side.
Yeah, but it gets you. I live in a hilly area, and you need that extra power to get you over the hills. This is your oil filter right here.
It looks like a side mount torpedo or something.
Yeah, it's essentially just a screen door wrapped around a couple of times.
Gosh, it fits in there pretty well.
Yeah, it does fit in there. It does fit in there, and being an airplane engine, everything's redundant. You got twin mags, so it's pretty reliable.
So this is all aluminum body?
All aluminum body. In fact, we'll take it for a spin.
I would. Well, no, that sounds good. I would think that with a chassis that weighs this much, it would hardly matter what sort of body you put on it, would it?
The chassis is not that all heavy.
Is that right?
I mean, obviously it's been heavily modified. It has a lot of aircraft stuff on it. If you look on this side, come on over here. This little deal here is a
what's that?
thing called the bomb, and I guess accumulator would be what it really is. What it is it's a pre-oiler. See, what a lot of people do is they would pre-oil their car with an electric pump, and you turn it on, and and it builds up oil pressure. But the trouble with electric ones is they don't have the power. They just go to the weakest point, so you don't really force any oil into the bearings. What the accumulator does, this has a big rubber bladder in it, and the car's got an electric compressor on it. And there goes the compressor now. And
like that.
What it does is you put about 150 pounds, so when you hit the switch, it's got a relay in it, and the rubber bladder that you forced out now forces oil, so you can get maybe 60, 70 pounds of pressure before you even start it. So save your bearings and whatnot, yeah. I mean, they work pretty good.
And then this chain mechanism?
This chain here, this is your brakes.
You're kidding.
This is basically a block and tackle type setup, which gives you a tremendous amount of power when you're going through these two gears. And they work. They work. Don't forget, there were no hydraulic brakes in 1915.
No.
In fact, there weren't any brakes in 1915.
Kind of an anchor. You throw it out if you want to stop.
Yeah, basically.
Well,
you want to go for a ride?
Yeah, well, sure.
All right.
It looks like it might be a little loud. Is it a little loud?
It's a little loud. This is kind of my favorite thing. These aren't really stock, but those are horns off a French rail car. They require 120 pounds pressure to blow each time you blow them, and that's why they've got their own little compressor that runs them off the battery.
People do get out of the way for you?
People get out of the way when you blow those horns. Here's something else I always...
What?
You know, this is something anybody can make. This is just your oil on and off switch, and a lot of mistake people make, and I've done it myself, is you get in it and you go, I forgot something. You get down the road and your engine sees, I forgot to turn it off.
I hate it when that happens.
So all we've done here is taken a simple, you've got a little knife switch type here that hits this. You can use a 9-volt battery, but what you have is just an alarm off a screen door, or off a, so when you
Got to oil the car.
Got
Right?
another car.
Yeah, you
But it
can't
works.
miss that either, you know.
I'll show you how the accumulator works. Here, hop in. What
Sure.
you do is just put one foot on the spring there and swing over.
Oh, okay. Let's see, probably this one here.
Oop, I don't want to knock off my mic. There we go. I'm gonna move this.
Cozy, isn't it? Right.
That's a little cozy. First thing, you got your pre-oiler. You saw the accumulator.
Right.
Okay, now I see you hit that. See the needle moving?
Oh, yeah.
So that bladder is now forcing about a gallon of oil throughout the motor.
Now, is that a volume or a pressure gauge that's moving there?
That's a pressure gauge.
Okay.
That's a pressure gauge. Looking easier. See the left mag, turn your mags on. Running your oil pumps. Fuel, air compressors. Usually the air compressor off until we're running. These are backwards, it's pushed to advance. Requires a lot of choke. You got a big motor. Let's see what we get here. Huh? Oh, there we go.
Contact. Woo! Sounds good.
It's an airplane. You guys gonna follow us? Back in a flash. You know what might be fun to do?
What would that be?
Put a chain around the rear end of that rental car. You go forward and I'll go that way. We'll see how far I can drag you.
I put my money on this. Do you have to run on aircraft fuel for this?
No. Very low compression. High for the time, 5.2. Was very low.
5.2 is all? Wow.
4.8 was standard, this has 5.2.
Man, it sounds serious though, doesn't it?
Huh?
It sounds serious.
No, it's a lot of fun. And it sets off every car alarm. When you go down the road in this thing, it's like a rooster in a hen house. You know, there's so much motion. There's so much harmonics coming out of this thing. That all the Corvettes, and they all start screaming and yelling.
Sure has a lot of torque to it.
Oh, yeah. 800 pounds, 1,000, something like that. We're only done at 1,000 RPM.
Amazing.
We're really only 400 RPM off of idle. Want to try this one?
Sure. I mean, what's tricky about it? Anything?
Center throttle. You ever drive center throttle?
No.
Sometimes you panic and you hit the gas and blow.
That's not a good thing.
Try to avoid that.
Is it an H pattern 4-speed?
Yeah. Hope they got the lights on.
Yeah, so how is it heavy traffic? How is it in traffic?
All right, it's pretty cool. We're gonna let Dennis drive. Yeah, pull over up here. Step on the seat.
You sure?
Yeah. Remember, the brake is where the gas is.
Brakes over here, gas is here, regular clutch and everything.
Regular clutch.
Okay. And
Emergency brake is right there.
it's a 4-speed, 3-speed, 3-speed.
Four-speed.
It's a 4-speed.
4-speed.
Ready.
Give us some
Got it. Uh-oh.
gas. Here we go.
More gas?
Don't rev it like that. Doesn't rev like that. Just real gentle. Clutch in.
Clutch in.
Kind of brake. I mean the regular hand foot brake. Okay.
Okay, feel it.
Oh, you're okay. Good. Hang on.
I'm gonna wait for this guy. And follow the red car.
Got it first?
Sure do.
Just let the clutch out slow. You almost don't have to give it any gas. Okay. Get the foot on the brake.
You're right.
Try the brake so you know where you are. It's second. You know, it takes a second.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
We're all gonna die. Oh.
Yeah. Don't pull any gear. Not a problem.
Man, it's a long nose. Woo! I'm driving. Don't worry, it's fine.
Watch out for the bumps here. Takes a second to get used to that brake there, doesn't
It does. You know, and this thing it's kind of stiff, isn't it? It's stiff from a suspension standpoint. Going straight?
Try your brakes. Make sure you know it takes a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of pressure.
They're straight mechanical. Pull it in fourth and drop to third.
Whatever you want, doesn't make any difference really.
Do you have to double clutch it?
Not necessary.
Now, the center throttle, was that common at one time, or was just everything kind of random?
Well, it's kind of random. Some people like it. I'm left-handed, so I kind of like it. I can just, when my foot hits the wall, I know I'm at the brake, you know. But it does, when you jump from one to another, you go, ah!
Now, is that typical of the basic long-stroke engine, or is that more common with the aircraft engines?
It's just such a big engine. The old engines that were all had a lot of torque. It was pretty common.
You do get onto the right brake, but you do get onto go in the right direction for the brake, but it takes a couple blocks.
Oh, yeah. You're in second now.
Yep.
How you doing, buddy?
Oops, like you say, just let her out without.
Let out, you're all right.
Yeah.
Second.
It's got so much power.
Yeah, it's just torque.
You seem to be hitting every red light in the world.
You'll get on the freeway. See, let's put it neutral and coast up to the line. And turn a real steering wheel.
Yeah, it's a honker.
Get used to it.
Oh, it feels great.
Now you're home free. 600 RPM, 60 miles an hour.
This is a lot like all the cars of this vintage. You really do want to prepare to stop way early.
Yeah. I mean, you can lock them up. You just have to,
Stand on them.
you got a pin in your leg, though, you're in trouble. But you really can drive it anywhere, San Diego, whatever you want.
It's amazing. It's a great touring car.
In an airplane engine that likes running at a steady 8,000, 1,200 RPM, 80, 90 miles an hour. When it gets up in the range, it'll suddenly, everything becomes harmonic and smooths out. Now you're running about 60.
Oh, it just feels great.
Yeah.
And you can tell how much power is still there, too.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of power. It's stupid.
it looks too. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. How tough was it finding a transmission to mate to the engine?
Oh, transmission's already made it to the engine. That was done a long time ago. The whole thing was bolted solidly to the frame, so the gears would bust all the time, and I kept making new gears. Then finally we made a cradle to hang the engine in the transmission, so there's a little bit of give, yeah.
It's a real three-way cruiser.
Oh, yeah. Just off idle. Sunland is what you want.
Okay.
Sunland Boulevard.
You want to go in the gas station or just...
Nah, we'll just do it right here.
Okay.
And pull the handbrake. You.
Which way? Right.
Once you learn it, it all becomes very easy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, but the first two blocks was, center, right.
Yeah. And believe me, sometimes in a panic situation, you go, wow, when you plow right into it. There's your mag check.
And what do you, what?
You got two banks.
Oh, okay, so by doing that, you're not gonna notice a difference in everything's working.
Oh yeah, you see a drop.
Okay, yeah.
You got two plugs per cylinder. One mag runs a plug on each cylinder.
I've never driven anything that lugs like this lugs.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
So, it's a trip, but do you pick these cars based on the amount of damage they might do to my mustache?
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Whoa, Jay, what a trip. This thing is great. It's
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You're just taxiing your
forever,
whole life. That's
right.
what it is.
Leno Air.
You just taxi, but it's great.
Thanks a lot, man. Let's do it again sometime.
Well, thanks.
All right.